Welcome to Dimensional Wellness 365, where today I'm going to talk about yes, less is more efficient. And before I get into that, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe and click on the bell and look up Dimensional Wellness 365. It's about the dimensions of life, whether it's the 4, the 6, the 8, the 12, your dimensions, right? Your family life, your social life, your financial life, your fitness, all the dimensions that encompass you, what you're exposed to, what you consume, etc. Right? So I'm going to please ask you to subscribe, click on the bell, share with those you love and respect. Now let's get into this. So less is more efficient. And what do I mean by that? I'm going to make this fashion short and sweet for you, right? Everything I do has to have a purpose. And this is from data and research. Everything I do has to have a purpose now. Everything, I put a purpose to everything. And let me put it that way. I put a purpose to everything. And that's why I tell my daughter, you're on your phone, social media, what does that give you? Is there a purpose to what you're doing, right? Is there something in return? I let you communicate with friends. It's wasted life. Don't waste your life. Put a purpose to everything you're doing. Let me explain. People ask me, how do you do OMAD? Like OMAD is 1 meal a day. 2MAD is 2 meals a day. How do you eat once or twice a day? And I tell them because I'm not freaking hungry, right? I don't eat multiple times a day. It's because I'm not freaking hungry. My body has adapted to what I'm supposed to do. So that's how I do 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day. That's the most average meals that I have in the last 2 years, right? However, if there's a day that I'm going to be festivities with people like when the Italians won the soccer game, right? That kind of day, yeah, I had pizza, I had calamari, I have a lot of food, right? Inside of my calorie window, and I still do my 16-hour minimums, but I celebrate life. And that's what I do. I don't want any penalties in my life. Hence why I live a Mediterranean lifestyle. That's what I live. And people ask me, what kind of lifestyle do you live? Mediterranean fasting lifestyle. That's my lifestyle, right? I live a Mediterranean lifestyle, but it's a Mediterranean fasting lifestyle. I include fasting in that lifestyle that I love, that I've learned to love. I went after the stuff that I enjoyed. What kind of foods do I love? What would I feel not penalized eating every day? What would I feel like enjoying to be part of my life? And it came down to a Mediterranean lifestyle. It's how I was raised and it's how I loved eating, right? So what are the side effects of all this? Some of the side effects: you eat less. You're going to eat less. I'll guarantee you that. You're going to eat less. And what happens when you start eating less? You get healthier. When you start eating less, you get healthier, especially when you eat healthier foods, right? You eat healthier food, you eat less, and you get healthier. The other thing that happens is you save money. You're going to save money. I don't do drive-thrus. I literally don't, unless it's for people, and I don't do drive-thrus. And I used to be the drive-thru guy, right, all the time. Anyway, I don't want to get into it. You're going to save money. Trust me on that. You're going to eat higher quality foods, better foods. By doing all this, you start extending your life. Data and research here, extending your life, and you live a healthier life. Guarantee you that you're going to live a healthier life, right? So those are the side effects of the lifestyle that I've lived. Remember, purpose, right? And I'm going to get like the higher quality of foods, also in categories by data and research. I started to look at what is the food that is the most nutrient dense foods, because the more nutrient dense you eat, less food you eat. And I've talked about this before. So I started looking at categories, because within each category, people that live 100 years or 90 years, if you look within their categories, they have categories. The cleanest and the healthiest of them all are the ones that live the longest, right? Makes sense, does it? Ties into all these side effects. The other one on the purpose here, functional fitness and activities, right? The dad bods, the mom bods. I wanted a longevity bod. That's what I went for, longevity bod. I went after internal health, because the rest follows. I figured that out through data and research, right? From studying it, I realized if I go after my internal health, the external health features come out naturally, and at the same time, longevity kicks in, right? Ties in data and research here, right? So it's interesting how I used to always train as a kid, right? I loved training as I got older, right? When I got older, in my 20s and stuff, I loved training. I'm high energy. We'll leave it at that. I'm high energy, and people will say that about me, right? But loving to work out, I used to do that. And then as I evolved through time, right, and went to procrastinating to work out as I got older because I got more businesses and more everything in my life, to avoiding, to canceling, to limiting my workouts, right? That's what started happening to me. And then when I got onto all the pills and all the 300 plus, 340, 360, all that I talked about in the past, and all the calcium tendonitis and the arthritis and the joint pains and everything from sciatica, etc., right, started bugging me, and the prescription started popping up in numbers, right? I decided to change the way I think. I changed my environment. I changed a lot of things. And then I went from all this procrastinating and canceling and limiting to renovating. I started renovating me. I started investing in me, right? From mind, body, and soul. I started renovating that. And then from that, I went to a hunger to a hunt. That's what happened. I'm looking for more all the time. I turn everything into anything, and I put a purpose to it. That's what started happening. That it also includes my social pleasures, right? From cannabinoids, and I talked about this, how I used to get high, and now I do by clarity. Why? By microdosing. I microdose. So now I do not like getting high in the sense of wasted high and stupid high and unfunctional high and that kind of stuff, but I love clarity high. Like I love a clarity high, and you get that by microdosing, and you learn them. You start studying and researching that, and follow me, right? The other thing that happens is less alcohol, much less alcohol. When I do cannabinoids, I still train. When I do a lot of alcohol, I didn't train. Right, see the pattern here? So less alcohol, and I've replaced with dry wines, the one with the 0 to 2 grams max of residual sugars per liter. If I'm in a restaurant, I do their dries. I don't start looking at their scale. I don't want to live like that. I don't want to measure nothing. I don't want to start looking at books or what is this. I just look at, in my mind, I know now the best of the best in each category. Right? And I improve all the time with that, right? So less alcohol, more clarity, and a smarter high is what I started doing in my social life, right? So I started titrating, if you've noticed this. Less is more, right? I started doing less, right? Less food. I started, like my activities. If you look at my activity, I do 15-minute bursts. In the morning, I'll do a 20, 25, 30-minute max burst. And then I'll throw in throughout the day. I'll do 3 hours of work, for example, laptop, Zooms and meetings, etc. Boom, I get on the bike for 15 minutes. I give it purpose. I give it the 15 minutes I give her. And then I work 3, 4, 5 hours. I'll jump in a pool. I'll do laps. I'll do some CrossFit in the pool. I'll go work 3, 4 hours. I will jump on rope. I'm not kidding you. I'm always putting little bursts. So, but less became more. And I do that every day. And I always talk about that, getting better tomorrow than you were yesterday, right? It's what you do every day. That started happening. All these little things. I started doing less of, but better of, more improved of, data and research. I started doing more with less. That's what started happening to me. Business, work, family, friends, your love life, your social life, your family life, your marriage life, all that from business and friendships and the whole 9 yards, right? Everything gets better. Wisdom. That's what that is. All this clarity of the mind, I kicked my ass. I went through the Bajas. I went through the swamps to where I am today, right? In my mind, I was angry at myself, right? And I changed all that. I changed the way I think, and I changed my environment. And by doing so, wisdom came in because I followed all this through data and research, and everything got better. Everything got better, right? Health, body, mind, and soul that I mentioned a moment ago, right? Biking, CrossFit, martial arts, swimming, all these things that I do pretty much every day now, or every other day. Like I start my training in the morning, my CrossFit with shadow boxing and etc. around the mirror, right? The biking and CrossFit type workouts and swim, I pretty much do every day. In the winter, I won't do as much swimming. But what's interesting about this is rain or shine. Rain or shine. I've done CrossFit in the rain. I've done biking in the rain. I do it at night. Night rain, I've done it. I've done swimming in the rain, right? I've done some of the best kickboxing workouts out in thundering rain, right? Rain or shine, I get her done. I get that hunt, I guess I mentioned a moment ago. It's within me, right? And you got to find that. You're gonna find it within you. It is within you. You just gotta pull it out. You gotta search for it, and it'll come out. Trust me on that, right? So family, social life, activities. Let's go to the batting cage. Let's go play some basketball. Let's go biking. I'm always looking for something. That hunt I mentioned a moment ago, I'm always looking for that hunt. You tend to do, it gets better, even your family life, your children life, your fatherhood, your motherhoods, your relationships, everything gets better, right? Why? Because I put purpose to it. And that's my way. The best by data, research, in every category. In every category, I get better tomorrow than I was yesterday, and I talked about that, get better tomorrow than when you were yesterday. In all these categories, I started getting better. And I started with 3 meals a day, and I tell people, start with your 16 days. That's what I did. I started with 3 meals a day. That's what I did. And then eventually dropped to 2 meals a day because I wasn't freaking hungry for the first meal, right? And sometimes it's 1 meal a day. And sometimes I have an 8-hour calorie window, but it's what I do every day. And I follow the principles and criteria that I've developed for myself, and I've talked about this on many, like my dimensional wellness or my Jean-Guy Public Communicator podcast. If you look at all that, all those datas and research and the whys that I do what I do are in there. But all this got better because I improve every day, right? If I learn something new, I tweak, right? If I know something is better, I tweak. If I know it's a higher nutrient that I love, I add. All these things. The more nutrient dense you eat, the less food you're going to eat. And less food you're going to eat, you're going to eat less, you're going to get healthier, you're going to save money, you're going to extend your life, and you're going to live a healthier life. Everything gets better. Jean-Guy Bourguignon, Dimensional Wellness 365, Episode 12. Less is more, it's more efficient. Thank you, merci, gracias, and grazie.